We are live. I'm Jay Morrison, founder, CEO, and fund manager of the historic Tulsa Real Estate Fund. This world's, this country's, this America's first black-owned real estate crowdfund in history of the country. But bigger than that, I mean, that does give us our legitimate historical impact. And then we'll keep building on that. And I'm going to hop right into it. I got some updates for us, but since we're talking about legacy and history here, outside of just being the first black-owned real estate crowdfund in the country, the first real estate crowdfund owned by Africans in America, we also are one of the first funds in the history of this country to get its own day. TREF Life, TREF Life. Yes. This is a proclamation from the city of South Fulton here in Georgia, which has given Jay and Ernestine Morrison, as they want to honor my wife and I for some of our other socially impactful work. But more importantly, I don't even like even mentioning them. It's cool. Forget Jay and Ernestine Morrison right now. Let's focus on TREF Life. Tulsa Real Estate Fund, with myself as the founder and visionary, my wife as the multiplier, and partner and chief communications officer and everything else she does. Along with the rest of our supporting team and over 12,000 investors. Whereas Jay and Ernestine Morrison and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund is the first Africans in America, Regulation A Tier 2 real estate crowdfund that finances urban development in the United States. Whereas urban neighborhoods across the nation do not have control of their dollars, real estate, or small businesses, making it difficult to uncover funding for real estate development that stays in the community. Thusly, urban neighborhoods are being developed by individuals who do not have the best interests of the community in mind. This leads to the displacement of long-term residents and destroys community culture. Whereas the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, TREF Life, through its crowdfunding, raised $10 million, $10 million in 7 days of capital commitments for the advancement of underserved communities, allowing members of the community, institutions, and advocacy groups to own an equity stake in redevelopment projects funded by the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. With this participation past donation, every investor, both accredited and non-accredited, will have an equity interest in every project they invest in, which enables control of our community and circulates our dollars within our neighborhoods, so we take pride and unite around common goals. And whereas the Tulsa Real Estate Fund has over 12,000 investors, shareholders, members, I'm ad-libbing here, and their fund has made it possible for working class citizens to own a portfolio of residential and commercial real estate assets for as little as a $500 investment, thereby creating a new legacy of ownership for many families. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and the city of the mayor and the city council of the city of South Fulton do hereby proclaim Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018, as Jay and Ernestine Morrison and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund Day in the city of South Fulton, Georgia, signed by Mayor Pro Tem. So we're going to rack up on this, what we call our legacy resume. That's the new thing now. I'm about to start talking heavy. We talk about the legacy resume. We want to stack up legacy stats. And so as a fund, as a village, we've already become the first real estate crowdfund in the country owned by Africans in America, managed by Africans in America. We've also been the first black-owned real estate crowdfund in the country to acquire commercial assets and deploy capital into the market. Now that we've acquired, Honey Bunny, can you get my floor plan? Gene, you got it? Floor plans. I left them on my desk on purpose, but now I want them. That has acquired commercial assets or any kind of real estate property. And all the other things we do will be the first, as the first black-owned real estate crowdfund in the country. So everything we do is a historical. See, let me put us onto game real quick. Let me get a mentor moment real quick, coach moment. First and second floor, 30,000 square feet, 2.6 acres, purchased for $2.1 million, appraised at $2.5 million. That's $400,000 of equity in 1 day. Anyway, what countries do, what nations do, and what organizations do. And it's not even stat padding. It's really stat positioning. So what they do is they'll take statistics and they'll say you win like the 400-meter race. So it's like, okay, that's the first female to win a 400-meter race. That's the first German female to win a 400-meter race. That's the first German female to get 13.5 on her race. That's the first, right? And so there's just layers of these stats, right? But it's all started because of the success of the initial, right? So for us, as the first real estate crowd fund owned by Africans in America, black-owned real estate crowd fund in the country, everything that we do is a first, basically, is the point. Every acquisition we make, every capital we deploy, all the capital we raise. So we're the first black-owned real estate crowd fund to receive over 10 million of capital commitments. It's another one. We're just racking up the legacy resume as a fund. And then when we raise and meet our $50 million max and we have XYZ millions of capital under management and go into our second and third and fourth fund, will be the first in those two. So as we pay dividends to our investors, and you guys all profit now that you all are commercial real estate owners, those who have invested into the fund, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just really cool for us, again, to not talk about cars, talk about jewelry, talk about, just commodities or things that we consume, but to talk about legacy stats and our legacy resume. So we started off the Tulsa Talk Thursday like this. So for those of you who don't know, this is the Tulsa Talk Thursday podcast. It's where you can live stream in, watch the replay later. Definitely go to iTunes and download the podcast. Some of you guys just live stream every week. Show the podcast some love. Go to iTunes and please download the podcast. TREF Life, come on. Let's actually, let's get our numbers up across all platforms, as well as like the Facebook fan page. It's Tulsa Real-Estate Fund. So we're excited about all that. This is our Thursday every week podcast. Typically is me or, some guests. Last week was my wife and I. She's actually here. I may drag her in at some point. Our team members are here. But we want to just constantly keep momentum going with our movement. Not only is this a Regulation A, an SEC-regulated Regulation A real estate crowd fund, Regulation A Tier 2 real estate crowd fund, it's also a movement. That's the difference between our organization, our firm, is that we also have traction and momentum and movement and have grassroots movement because of all of our service and sowing seeds in our community. So that makes people feel uncomfortable because we're like so different and our marketing's so good and like our videos are like rap videos and they feel like, So as you see, I'm wearing TREF Life merch. This is the big logo tee. I personally like the little logo tee with the little TREF right here. And we have the TREF polos, just something special we want to offer. And we got some phone cases that I can't show you because I don't even have one. They're so new, I don't even have them. But you guys can go to our website for an opportunity to win free merch that's dropping on a King's Day, my birthday, October 30th, which is next Tuesday. You guys will be able to purchase your TREF Life merchandise, right? And so, again, go register for a free chance to win some free merch. Why not? It's treflife.com, TREFLIFE.com. TREF Life is the movement because, we are the first fund in our lifetimes to be doing the work that we're doing. We do this for life. You ain't never seen nothing like it in your life, right? So we are just so new, so innovative. Our energy's high, our frequency is high. We are God sent, blessed, ordained and covered, and are looking to make super impactful social economic advancements in the urban community and our communities, underserved communities, and doing so by being a funding source for urban developers and investors and our partners, right? So we're not here to be the developer, but to be the funding source for the urban community owned by the people. That's our niche. If anyone asks you, right? So let's train a little bit because we have to recruit. We have to recruit TREF Life members, right? So if anyone asks you, what is it the Tulsa Real Estate Fund is? What do they do? What is this thing? What is this TREF Life thing? And what's that about? They ask you, you tell them it's a real estate funding source for urban redevelopment owned by the people. That's our thing. This is our elevator pitch. We are a real estate funding source for urban redevelopment or urban development owned by the people. That's what we are. The people invest as little as $500. They get an 8% preferred return on their money, and they get 50% of the profits that the fund makes. The fund gets a 5.5% management fee, the other 50% of the profits, and has all the liability on the deals, right? So what that means, we all own together, and we are a funding source for developments primarily focused on urban community and deals, real estate deals and opportunities that center around that. You know what's funny, King Ave, is another quick little learning lesson, then we're going to go into question and answers. I have no topic for tonight. Tonight is what do you want to know about TREF? And my wife even asked me something she didn't know as I was teaching her the TREF life sign. And she was like, what is that? And why is that TREF life? Where's the T? And I said, you can't see it? This TREF life looks just like TREF life. If you look at this logo, honestly, if you look at this logo, don't you see this? Keep it real. Somewhere in this logo, you see this. You do. So this is the TREF life sign. It's the movement. So when I throw the bat signal up, you know what it is. We out here. And we got our own emoji. How about that? There's actually a TREF life emoji. And you could do your dark skin hand. You could do light skin hand. You could do white, albino. You can go all the way to medium brown. Like, that's all the colors. So that's cool. That's a plus. So we have TREF life own emoji. TREF is Tulsa Real-Estate-Fund. And yeah, all that. So no topic tonight. We'll do question and answer. You guys can call in. I think the number's right here, right? Okay, number's right here. Hopefully you can see it. Can you guys see this? You can call in and ask questions and answers tonight. Oh, and you can, on live stream, you can ask questions. What's up? What's up? What's up? What you about? What you about? Facebook, y'all got it too. So, you know what's so cool? So I'm about to say a point, and I'm gonna come back to the cool part. So before I say the cool part, I was on Instagram and somebody was like, well, if the fund sold this building that we purchased for $2.1 million for $2.6, I didn't even double check their math, but they said that would be $130 profit for each investor. And they was like, wow, big deal. And I said, this is why Malcolm X said we gotta become more mature. If you invest $500 and you make $130 profit, and you're like, that's no big deal. This is our problem. This is the problem. So I'll tell you what that would mean. Again, I'm not saying that you would make this much on this deal. I'm disclosing that. But what the Instagram guy said was, if we made $130 but we invested $500, like, oh my gosh, I could do much better with my money. That's a 26% return on investment. You have $500 right now sitting in your shoebox, getting you zero, losing 3% every year because of the cost of inflation. You got $500 sitting in your checking account right now, getting you zero, losing 3% every year because of the cost of inflation. You have $500 in a savings account, getting you 0.214%. You have $500 in a CD locked up for 3 years, getting you 3%. You have $500 in a 401k, IRA, pension fund, 403b right now, mutual fund, getting you 4%, which is $20. If you put $500 in a mutual fund and you get 4% interest on the year, you're making $20 in the year. So you find out that you're making potentially just say 8% with Tulsa, which is $40. You say, oh man, y'all nigga goes crazy. You invested $500, make $40. What's $40? $40 is more than the $20 you're getting right now when wherever your money's parked. Or the negative 3% you're getting with your money sitting in cash.
It's only been 5 months, man.
That too, that part. So I'm just giving educational lessons, understand the opportunity cost of money. You can't look at what you make and compare apple to a rubber ball. It gotta be an apple. You gotta compare ROI to ROI. So if my $500 is TREF life, it makes me 8%, even if our deals take 2-3 years, but you made an 8% return, 9% return. What would that 5 or 1,000 or 5,000 had done in another investment vehicle? Just compare the apples to the apples. Take the big firms, the Merrill Lynch's, the Morgan Stanley's, the cool. And look at what your returns would be locking your capital up with those kind of institutions versus our institution, which nothing is guaranteed, of course, and not there or here. But the opportunity to make 8% and 50% of the profits while you develop your community. So that was just a little learning lesson. But now the cool part. The coolest part about what I like about, so that's the first question I want to ask for live stream and callers. I want to ask questions and I want answers. I don't want you asking your own questions. I want to ask the questions. So what I want to know is, what do you like about the Tulsa Real Estate Fund? What's cool about TREF Life to you? I'm going to start, right? So if you have a question, fine, but you got to answer this question in order to ask your question. Everybody has to answer this question. Why is Tulsa Real Estate Fund dope? Why is Tulsa Real Estate Fund cool? Why is it a great thing? Why is it awesome? Why do you love it? Why do you like it? Why did you invest in it? Like, why is this a great thing? And for me, or what's cool about it? What's cool about the Tulsa Real Estate Fund? All right. So for me, what's cool about it is I like the 12,000 plus investors, and it's growing. It's only been 4.5 months. So it's like, what's cool about it is it really is a village. Like, it's really like, okay, everyone in our fund is not, aren't Africans in America. They're not black people. There's, all walks of life, nationalities, etc., right? But we know a large portion, of our fund and constituents are, Africans in America, and leveraging our fund as a vehicle to empower our community. And there's other communities who are participating in that same movement, and we're all one village. And so what I like, though, is if this were a vote, right? Like, we were voting for like who's progressive, who's about that action, who's about saving our community, who's putting their money where their mouth is, who's about literally building a Black Wall Street, who's literally about building out a Marcus Garvey model of a financial institution, a financial vehicle for the betterment of us, right? No matter who invests in it, big funds, white, black, Chinese, yellow, Asian, whatever, right? Like, we don't care who invests in it, but we know the purpose of it is for the advancement of our community. So, and for the advancement of our investors, right? So to have 12,000 or 2,100, 2,200 people say, I'm in, not with a signature, not with an online petition, not with a like or a follow or a subscribe, but with actual hard dollars. That's the best kind of vote that you can have, that what you have is real, is a real movement, and not just talk, and not just viral, social, non-substantive, whatever. Like, the fact that everyone invested says, I'm invested. It says, I buy in, literally. I buy in. It's the buy-in. The fact that 12,000 plus people in 4 months have bought into the concept of what we can do together, none of us never having done this before, but willing to go do it, that's the dopest part about this fund and why it's a movement. So imagine when that's 120,000 people, whether that takes another 4 months or another 4 years. But imagine when it's 120,000 people that have all said, I buy in. That's dope. That's power. That's literally a proven unity with a substantiable metrics for you to be able to analyze and show real social proof. It's bigger than someone just going to a ballot and pulling a lever. It's actually like way bigger than that. And so I think that's just the most awesome part about what we are all doing together. And then the fact that we can control our community, build assets, and all that stuff is cool too, but I think that's my favorite. So I want to know from you all, we're going to open up the call line, Queen Tam, live stream, we'll open up for questions for you, whether you have invested or not. Maybe you haven't invested yet, but you still think it's cool. I want to know.
Says it's us taking care of us. Walter Wynn says community and commonality. Mohammed said, I like it because it's just the beginning. Lena,
I like that too. I like the fact it's just the beginning. Like, that's fun too. Go ahead. Lena said what, King?
Opportunity for all of us to win.
Facts.
TREF is dope simply because it's funded by us for us. TREF is a great thing because it will allow us to benefit from economic trends that usually erase our worth socioeconomically.
Okay. Deep.
But I said it's dope because it's innovative. My kids seeing our ownership 30 to 50 years from now. All right, King.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
King, that's the brother's name on the live stream. Okay.
Right. Imagine
because,
when you,
oh, somebody said because you made it easy enough for black people who may not be great with numbers but understand the basics of how important it is to invest, and you made it fun and simple.
cool.
Other questions too.
All right. So what other questions we got? Queen Tam, we got anybody on the call line? Oh wait, is she not on speaker? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, how you doing, King? Put on speaker, Gene.
No, don't speaker.
Good, good. Jay, how you feeling today?
Oh, 1 second. We're trying to get our audio together. I'm well though. Hold on 1 second. All right. Why didn't I have it on speaker? We couldn't hear him.
Well, it shouldn't be on speaker.
It wasn't on speaker, and then we couldn't hear him.
Say something, King.
Can you hear me, King? Speak up. Hello, hello.
Yes, I can hear you right now.
All right. Let's try it again.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Say TREF Life. Hello?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, perfect. I think you asked earlier about what it's like about the Tulsa Fund. I think that was the first thing to answer that question and ask our question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think the strength of the community element that you add to it and the value that can go national on reowning the community, restructuring the blocks, and bringing that economical feel back to the African American community is something that's been missing for a very, very long time, probably something that we've never had before. So I think where you are with this right now is a direction that so many people can connect to and really value the fund, especially being the first of its kind. So I commend you on your accomplishment on what you've achieved so far.
Thank you, King. I appreciate that. And well put.
Okay. My question with you right now, as you talk about the investment side, we're currently pretty much in the New Jersey area. We just developed the biggest minority project in New Jersey, 25 acres, beachfront, and we've actually had $20 million put in so far. We've got other investors coming to the table, and we really wanted that African American feel because we're looking to rebuild back into the community. My thing was to make sure that we extend an invitation and talk with you and kind of let you see what's happening right now. We've got 25 acres, we've got 80 hotel rooms, 720 condos, 10 restaurants. It's an incredible opportunity to go ahead and invite you guys in for what we've achieved so far. So when you talk about putting that capital in, and we also have a lot of celebrities connected into it, building one of the biggest music studios in the world. So my thing is to kind of open up that door and let those opportunities shine because we have come to the table with major capital, and we think this is a value for your market and all those involved in the Tulsa Fund.
Well, we would love, and one, congratulations, King. That sounds amazing. Sounds super sexy. You know, I'm a Jersey bred king, and would love to learn more about it. You can, if you guys can send over, it's super simple, on tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. Just submit a deal, type a quick little paragraph, you know, executive summary, whatever. You know, fill out what you think it looks like to you all, and it'll go right to my email and the rest of the deal team, and we'll be sure to, you know, respond to you guys promptly and just see, you know, where in your capital stack we could be of asset and what makes sense for, you know, for all of us from a, you know, either lending or equity or mezz or gap or whatever you're looking for situation, and then we can go from there.
Hey, I really look forward to it because at the end of the day, when you talked about the minority community, you know, we've done Put a Chill on Violence. We work with the major stations. We've done some key things. And we got some major celebrities working hard on this too. So we like to connect in and see how we can help you guys out. Like I said, we've got tremendous capital so far, and maybe this is something that can add that extra African-American appeal. So it's not so much that we're looking for the capital. It's kind of having that involvement and that feel on what we can do as a united front. So I'll send that over to you. And then you can take a look at it. I'll give you some details on the deal itself. And then tell me what you think, respond back, and we'll take some steps and see what happens. Thank you so much for the time.
Perfect, King. Yep, thank you. And as for anyone else, if you're a sponsor or an operator of a project, developer, and you have an opportunity you think is a great fit, or you're looking for capital as a JV partner, hit us up, tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. It's a one-page application. Submit a deal. submit your deal, our team review it, and if there's some traction, we move forward. Next caller.
Hey, King, peace. Good night to everyone on the call.
All right, peace, King.
Can you hear me?
I can. You can speak up a little bit.
All right, let me step away from the TV for a little bit. So I wanted to ask, right, I was reading the website for Tulsa Real Estate Fund, and I noticed that it's a two-tier investment. I was just wondering, what are the two tiers to the investment?
Is that a two-tier investment?
Yeah, I think that's what
okay, I understand. A Regulation A Tier 2 real estate fund.
Yeah.
Yes, all that is a particular class and designation as a fund. So there's like Reg A Tier 1, Reg A Tier 2, there's Regulation D. It just means what guidelines we fall under in regards to how we can raise capital, our reporting, and our compliance.
Okay, great. And another question I wanted to ask.
Wait, hold on, King. Before you get to ask that question, you have to answer my question, which is, what is cool? What do you like about the Tulsa Real Estate Fund? Like what's cool about it?
Well, for one, I like the fact that we now have a black investment firm, well, a black crowdfunding opportunity for us to allocate our funds to, reach out in the community and make things better for us. As you can see, that most of our communities are being gentrified. So this is a way for us to save our communities, because most of us, as you know, we don't have the funding on the capital to back us when we want to invest. So with Tulsa Real Estate Fund being an option for us now we have strength in numbers and we have a voice, and we can go out there and make changes in our community.
Absolutely, well put. I'm gonna have to quote you on that and put that in some marketing somewhere. That was a good one.
Thank you, King.
So what was your second one?
Question I wanted to ask. Yeah, like in the future, is there any way some of this funds could be allocated to residential deals?
Yes,
right now,
yes.
Commercial.
Thanks for the alley-oop. I'm gonna slam dunk it. In about another week or so, we're gonna be rolling out a residential fix and flip joint venture product. So we're tweaking a few things. Our aim is for it to be 100% financing joint venture fix and flip product. An opportunity for those who have resumes out there who are strong fix and flippers, investors and operators, where we can partner and be a pipeline of capital and funding for you all, so you guys can go ahead and scale your businesses, compete at those auctions, compete with the bank REOs, and just perform more adequately in those markets. So we're excited about, especially me coming from my background and foundation as a developer, started in the urban community as a rehabber, as a landlord, fix and flipper. And so to be able to give back and be a funding source, from the Tulsa Front perspective is super exciting.
Okay, great. I like that, because I was wondering, I called in the 800 number the other day, and I was speaking to one of the representatives there, and I was asking her if there's any way there was any funds set aside for
So if any of you have any residential deals, 1 to 4 units, and looking for a JV partner, you would also go to tulsa-real-estate-fund.com and fill out that one-page application, and we will review those deals, and we'll put it in our pipeline for this new joint venture product we should be rolling out in the next 7 to 14 days. So you guys can get a head start if you have a project and you're looking for a JV partner. Again, reach out to the website, tulsa-real-estate-fund.com, and those who want to invest. So keep in mind, when you invest into the fund, you are a shareholder and owner of all the assets that we invest in, whether it's commercial real estate, whether it's residential flips, whether it's hotels, apartment buildings, the Jersey Shore type property that the King just mentioned, or wherever it is, you are a little owner in that portfolio of those assets. And so if you want to invest with us, go to tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. Minimum investment is $500. You get an 8% preferred return, and you get 50% of your share of the profits. Don't say, oh, well, if I only spent $500, you do a $20 million deal, my share of profits is only this much. Guess what? It's more than the profits you're getting at your bank. Keep it in perspective, folks. All right, next question.
Hello, Mr. J. It's your buddy Kaden with Daddy. Did you know? And congratulations with the building. Today I went to go stop. I ain't seen it.
Thank you so much, Kaden. What's up, King? I got a glimpse of a video with you guys. Thank you guys so much for being my partners. And now we all own commercial real estate together. And thank you just for the acknowledgement. I appreciate it.
This is exciting.
Super exciting. We're all smiling in here. Like, this is going to be good stuff. I can't wait to, do our tour and have you and your parents and your sister, have you guys come down and we can all look at it together. And maybe Daddy Did You Know might have an office in the building and you could be one of the anchor tenants with us.
I like that.
Me too. TREF life. Kaden, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why is the Tulsa Real Estate Fund cool to you? Why do you like this, what we're doing?
Because you teach me more about my goal, and my goal is to own a multi-family unit for 20.
Well, you said it all. You know exactly what you want out of life. So, yeah, we're going to own a multifamily together, Kaden, before you're 20, all right? I'm going to do my best to help you help that happen through the Tulsa Real Estate Fund movement. And if you go to school, you throw up the TREF Life sign, tell them it's not a gang sign, it's a movement.
Okay.
Good. Have a good night, King. Appreciate you.
Good night.
King Kaden, CEO of Daddy Did You Know? Check him out with the financial literacy flashcards. He's going to be the TREF and the JMA mascot.
Jeanette Wilkes on Facebook asked, are we planning on purchasing the other 4 deals that were introduced at the August ball, or is it just the Legacy Center purchase? Oh, great question. So, yeah, we introduced a few deals that were in underwriting at our Black Wall Street ball in August, which will be happening next August, our 3rd annual. Queen Ernestine's already looking forward to planning that sucker. But no, those deals is all, we introduced 4 deals. 1 deal has been denied from underwriting. They couldn't get their stuff together. And then 3 deals are still in underwriting. We're just waiting for, different due diligence, paperwork, the sponsors, different other financing. So in these deals, sometimes they're complex. You might have 3 or 4 banks involved in one development deal, plus an equity partner, plus this sponsor, plus you need development budgets, then you need tax credits from the city, and you got to match all these things up, and then you need HUD, and it's affordable housing, and then affordable housing won't go with this bank, but this bank won't do but a 1.3 debt service interest. It gets complicated, but yeah, they're still in underwriting, as well as like 6 or 7 other opportunities in underwriting. We've gotten some good deals over the last 3 days that we're going to be calling some folks about. There's a great opportunity in South Carolina we just got that we're looking at. There's another one out in San Fran. It's a cannabis dispensary play that we're pretty interested in. There's some stuff right here in Atlanta, some multifamily housing. So it's just on and on. This new joint venture fix and flip product will have some more inventory going in. What the King just offered in New Jersey earlier today. We have another hospital play, a hospital purchase in New Jersey. We're entertaining. It goes on and on. So yeah, there's a lot of activity, a lot of deals of underwriting, and I'm looking forward to, the development of the Legacy Center, but also more acquisitions, more investments, and more funding projects. Next question.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Pitch Kings is Maximum from New York. I just want to say congratulations. I'm following the movement. I'm a JMA student currently. I appreciate what you're doing. I'm following you closely. And one thing, I like the movement and everything, but one thing you mentioned
even though we have 12,000 members, I feel that as a community, we could have more. You know, more people that follow you, and I know for a fact, we could have more investors in the fund. We could make it bigger, sooner, and quicker. So, you know, I definitely encourage people to be in the fund, or if you want to market it on TV, on the news, to the breakfast club. But I think we should market more the Tulsa Real-Estate-Fund for people to invest.
I agree. I appreciate you, King of Love. I see you on the JMA side. JMA is about to change its mascot as well. We'll tell you guys about that on another JMA call. We're going to a whole new field, but you know, we on this financial crusade together. So love on that, and thank you for the wise words. I do agree. I mean, the grateful side of us starting this new funding endeavor is like, yeah, this is great. There's 12,000, plus of us, and we have a village. But there's, just in the African community in America alone, there's like 43 million of us, let alone other communities. I mean, there's millions of people from other communities as well, and internationally. And so this is a very, 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 very small drop in the bucket of what it should be. I mean, even my Instagram alone is 230,000 people. So we got 12,000 out of 230 of just those followers, not to mention my wife's, and then Tulsa's and our email list and everything else, and so general marketing. So yeah, it should be, and we hope to grow it. And I'm gonna do some more challenging, folks. It's like, it's still at the end of the day, it's like, why wouldn't you do it? Like, you invest in everything else and everybody else and buy everything else and buy everything else. Like, why wouldn't you invest in your own community? And I think people just kind of, even people that know, even people that know us personally, Ernestine and I and some of the team members, is like, all right, you know me. You go spend thousands at a club or thousands on sneakers and all this other kind of stuff, but you don't feel the compelled to invest with me and be a partner with us in the community and start rebuilding a economic infrastructure. At the end of the day, all we are is building a vehicle that can be an economic infrastructure where we have none. So how can anybody of sound mind and of a decent budget reject that? When our community has no economic infrastructure, and we actually created something that's a legitimate economic infrastructure, and you know us on top of that, and you know our worth, and you're still not involved, and you can do it. So, yeah, we got to be a little more assertive and aggressive there. I agree, Ken.
Most definitely. One more question, Jay. Do you think about decentralizing the Tulsa Real-Estate-Fund? I know you guys are based, in Atlanta, Georgia, and like I told you, I live in New York. Do you think to plan on having offices in, I'm not saying every city, but probably especially the major cities, for example, New York or some, West Coast, Los Angeles? Do you plan on having offices where where you have GMA classes as well in different cities, having different instructors?
Yes.
Do you plan on doing that?
Tulsa, Tulsa. I don't plan on moving our headquarters to different cities just yet. Hopefully we grow that big where we're needed on, we got a Chicago office, LA office, New York. But JMA, it has to happen over the next 90 to 180 days. We'll roll out satellite campuses with satellite instructors in different cities where I'll be training these folks personally, hands-on, and bringing in former JMA students, real estate experts out the country, etc., who want to be on this financial crusade with me and with us and be a lead instructor and ambassador in their city. So JMA will be expanding to different cities. That is a fact as I know it. And then Tulsa will take our time and grow as we need to, but we will be investing in different markets outside of, obviously, Atlanta.
What is the funding cap LTV on TREF?
For our JV product, we're looking at doing 100% LTV for our joint venture residential 1 to 4 unit product. On commercial products over 500,000, again, we can be creative. There's not per se a cap. We can come into the capital stack in different areas as an equity partner, or in some cases some kind of creative debt, but probably around a 75% LTV. If it were just debt financing, probably around 75 would be our cap, maybe 80. But we're looking to be more JV partners and debt partners.
This is my page. There's a lot of actors. You want to explain what LTV is real quick?
All right, for all the EJ Page actors out there, and my TREF and JMA folks were still learning, LTV means loan to value, right? So what would be the capital or max amount we would lend, right? Loan we would give to the value of the asset. So if this were a house, this globe, this pretty globe my wife bought me, if this were a $100,000 house, and I was gonna give a 90% LTV, and we know this house is valued at $100,000, and I'm gonna give a 90% LTV loan, it means I'm gonna give up 90% of the value of this house, which is $90,000 on a $100,000 house. Meaning the borrower has to come up with the other 10%. And that 10% can come from out of their pocket. It can come from a private equity partner. So say a bank was gonna lend you 80% LTV. The bank says, my cap is 80% LTV, that's it. I'm only lending 80% of whatever it's worth. I don't care if it's worth $3 million, I'm only loaning $2.4 million. So you would have to come up with the 20%. That 20% could be brought through a syndication, through private capital. You can come to Tulsa and say, hey, I got this deal. The bank's gonna give me 80%. Can Tulsa be my 20% partner and be the preferred equity partner and give the 20%? And now you got 100% financing between the bank and then Tulsa's equity participation. That's how you sponsor and syndicate a deal, but I could tell you more about that if you were a JMA student or a coaching client.
Or next week.
Or next week we have a webinar everyone can register for. Is jay-morrison-live. If you want to learn what I just said right there, how to pull that off, I'm going to tell you. Next week, Monday, the day before my birthday, 7 p.m., I'm still working. Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, you can go to jay-morrison-live.com, and I'm having a 2-hour plus CEOs mastermind Q&A session. It's private. It's not no IG live and all of that. No, this is just for those who register, who paid, who like, yo, Jay, I want to lock in. I want to learn from you for 2 to 3 hours. I want to get game on how do I actually pull together these deals? How can I, advance my career? How can I advance my wealth, right? So not just home ownership 101, not buying and flipping. I'm talking about this is really an executive masterclass. This is for CEOs, executives, entrepreneurs, business owners, developers who want to get to the next level. Those who are aspiring to make 6 figures, who are already making 6 and 7 figures, and you want me to show you how to expand and scale your business. This is the executive masterclass, Monday night, the night before my 38th birthday, 7 p.m. Go to jay-morrison-live.com, and I'll explain to you how to put your business together, explain to you how to build a proper corporate veil for your business. I'll explain to you the tax strategies and implications of mitigating your taxable income by using the proper corporate veil strategy. I'll also explain to you some of my marketing, branding, and sales strategies in order to position yourself for maximum revenue. I'll also explain some of my operations and business systemization strategies and skills, and much, much more. So I'm going to go into my CEO tool bag and explain to you guys how I was able to run multiple companies while still building a Tulsa Real Estate Fund, grow the Jay Morrison Academy to the Inc. 500's number 588 fastest growing companies in the country, while I authored 2 books, which both were bestsellers, while I went and found a woman of my dreams and got married, while I still was a dad to 2, while I still was building my real estate portfolio, buying apartment buildings here in Atlanta, while I was taking on over 24 coaching clients and thousands of JMA students, mentoring them all at the same time. I'll explain to you how you can actually do that with your business if you come to Monday nights, October 29th, this live CEO webinar, interactive webinar, question and answer session, strategy session, mastermind session. That's at jay-morrison-live.com. This ain't for the faint of heart. This ain't for the beginner. You want to figure out how to buy your first house, this ain't the class for you. This is for the CEOs out there. This is for those who, either got bank, rolling, trying to scale up, or you about to have bank and you trying to be prepared for when it comes. This is that class, jay-morrison-live.com. And we'll talk about that. So I hope that was educational, though, for you guys to understand from a Tulsa perspective, what is we want to do. We don't really want to be the bank. We more want to be the funding partner, equity partner for those who are, we want to be a funding source, right? Owned by the people. So next questions. What time we got? 15 minutes. 15 minutes till dinner.
Can I still invest?
Yes, everyone can still invest. tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. $500 gets you, plus your transaction fee, your processing fee, I think it's like $25, $25.50. But all that gets you 10 shares in the fund, and you become instantly at this point, now that we own assets, you become an instant commercial real estate. For $500, you become an instant commercial real estate owner. How cool is that? And then we're going to develop this puppy into something really cool and prayerfully very profitable.
So I ask, do you know Claude Anderson, and would you partner with him?
I don't know Claude Anderson. I'm assuming Dr. Claude Anderson, but I definitely would build with him and be open to partnering with him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. King, how are you?
Hey, this is Will from Maryland. What I wanted to know was when the Tulsa Real Estate Fund actually like develops a property, will they also be branding the property like in some sort of way, like having the logo somewhere on the property?
That's a great question, King Will out of Maryland. Before I answer, I need to know, why is TREF cool to you, King Will?
Absolutely. This is I invested in a lot of different things, but this is the first time I've invested in something, and I felt, very honored and proud to be a part of this movement. This is the closest thing to a collective action from our community that I've seen in a long time, and it's just cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, you just inspired me again. I think that we have to step our marketing game up, honestly. We kind of took a little breather and we, organizing things and getting to these deals. But I just feel like when you said that word collective action, it just did something to me. It's like, I feel like doing a corner class or like a wake up video and screaming at the top of my lungs, like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Like, we have a platform to take collective action together. And it's like, we always begged for it and asked for it as a community, and then somebody come up with it. It's like, oh, well, not them. It's like,
I don't like their website.
Yeah, like, their video looks too cool. Like, I don't know. But it's like, yo, we've been asking this forever. Why we have more black banks? Like, then we get it. So it's like, yo, we have to do better marketing. Like, just call people out. Like, yo, we got the company as SEC regulated. We've already making strides, already making moves. Only 4.5 months old. Like, collective action. Like, we all taking collective action, kneeling for a flag and an anthem and all that kind of stuff. Like, take collective action. Go do something that's progressive and not just protesting. But anyway.
Right.
To your question, when we do develop ourselves, like this first building, so this is the floor plan for the Legacy Center for those who are watching. The Legacy Center, 30,000 square feet, or a little under 30,000 square feet, 2.6 acres of land we're going to be developing. This will also bear the names and memorialize the names as promised for our founders, those who invested in that first kind of month and a half period up until June 19th, Juneteenth. And so our founders' names will be etched in this building, and there will be, I'm not sure what yet from a design standpoint, but there will be recognition of the fact that this is, you'll know it's a Tulsa building, put it like that. You're going to know it's TREF life when it's done. I promise you that. And I'm excited about it.
Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely, King. And yeah, just for me, guys, I mean, I've been really focused as a fund manager on compliance, on the numbers, on like all that stuff, making sure that, they don't try to Marcus Garvey me. If you don't know the Marcus Garvey story, you should read how Marcus Garvey raised $800,000 back in 1919 for the Black Star Line ship. And then he was infiltrated by J. Edgar Hoover and the CIA and FBI. And then they they derailed Marcus Garvey's crowdfunding, in essence, in his business. And so we understand history. And that was an inside job. But so I'm very, very keen on the record keeping, accounting, bookkeeping, the fund management side. But I was telling my wife and Eugene and some of the other team members, I have a dual responsibility, especially on this first project, which is why I don't want to do many development projects. I just want to fund projects. I just want to be the plug, the money plug, the rich uncle, right, as the fund manager. But we did take this on. This was special and it was needed, this project, and it has a great business model attached. But this Legacy Center will be a development piece, a staple for me as a developer to showcase, my skills and my prowess and my flavor as a developer, supported by my wife and our team and those who will be, helping with the. It's a team effort as far as, design and all that. But I do have a vision. My wife and I fight about it all the time because has her visions too. But we're going to merge visions and really develop this to be a staple for our community and something we all could be proud of. And then that's the goal, is like a building that we want to bring our kids to and like can almost be a historical destination. Like, we go to Atlanta, we pulling up on a TREF Center, right, on a Legacy Center. So we're definitely working diligently to make sure that happens, and super excited. Yeah. Next questions.
How do you get your ROI? Is it like the stock market?
Okay, I heard you. Can I get to 1 second? So on the ROI side, when investors invest, there's a 1-year lockup. It's a blackout period, right? Before there's no returns the first year from the time you invest. And then returns and dividends are paid out quarterly after that first year, every quarter, every 90 days, every 3 months. And you're paid out quarterly based on your 8% preferred return accrual, and then your share of any profits, if any profits were made. Understand that some of these deals take longer to materialize. We only can pay dividends as profits and properties are liquid, but you still get, and we get as a company, a collective cash balance, so to speak. So what that means is, like, if we say right now it's a year from now and we didn't have liquid capital right now to pay dividends because everything's in buildings and projects and developments, whatever the case is, and whatever. And say this particular building we purchased for $2.1 million, which was worth $2.5 million, there's $400,000 in the building, right? So if we had no capital to disperse from this building, our solace or peace of mind as investors is to know we have our money parked in an asset that has value, and that value, that capital balance of the value of the building goes on our books. So it still shows as value, although it's not like dispersible cash value, but it's still like value, right? Equity. So again, us being more mature as a community and as investors, understanding that there's going to be profits, dividend splits, profits, cash out. And we know everybody loves the cash out. But we also like to reinvest and the money making more money for us. And we like the equity and the appreciation, right? That's all part of investing, is you invest in an asset. So not only do you get the cash flow and the dividends, but you also get the appreciation of the asset. So then if we were to sell this project or another project in 8 months, 18 months, whatever, it could be 8 years, we then now are all realizing the appreciated value of that project, let alone the cash flow from leases, rentals, or whatever. But we're getting that, what this building, or say it's an apartment building or residential real estate or whatever it is, what is it worth however many years from now? And we all split those profits too. Or the accumulated 8% over that time, and then the big payout and profits with the 8% preferred return back to the investors. And then whatever's left over, we split 50-50, and you get your share of the 50-50 based on how much you invested on top of your 8%. So hopefully that makes sense. But King, I heard you. What's up?
Yes, sir. Hey, Jay, this is Anthony. And shout out to Tulsa. He called me at work. I'm the guy who had the baby, by the way.
Okay.
That night. Yeah. Tulsa actually called me yesterday, and I was telling him that, y'all were a little bit crazy for coming up with this. I do want to say, what I think is cool about it is, like, in the face of all of the people trying to be like you and all the people who said it wasn't going to work, like, y'all actually pulled it off. I want to know, like, what gave you the energy to, like, do that? Like, what really gave you the energy to pull that off with all of that? He said that y'all probably received, he said y'all received death threats, people attacking y'all, all types of stuff. Like, what gave you the energy to just, like, do this?
Honestly, man, it's that warrior spirit in us. I don't know of any death threats. Maybe they didn't get up to me. Hopefully, good. But there has obviously been a lot of adversity, and I wouldn't even call it controversy. I mean, good old fashioned mad rapper Puffy Biggie the Life or Death album, You Ready to Die, hate. Like old school 90s hate. Like when player hating first came out, and when that first was a term type hate. Like that, so there has been that. But
the stuff at Tulsa though.
What's that?
The Queen, when we put the bid in, that was.
Yeah,
that guy's sketchy.
Yeah, somebody did get murked out after. So the lady did. I mean, it's not funny, but then somebody did die around us making moves. That is true.
Wow.
Yeah, that is true. That's not even funny. Rest in peace to her. But yeah, there is a lot on the line. But anyway, to say the energy piece is like, I think it's personally it's the quest for legacy and the history books and working hard enough. It's like you can't get a MLK type of name or a Malcolm X type of clout or a Marcus Garvey type of reputation, or you know what I'm saying, or any of that without doing that kind of work. Like it's just not, you know what I'm saying, on the legacy side. And so I understand that, you know, Fred Hampton type of sacrifices. Hopefully it's not that, you know, doesn't go that far, but you got to be willing to make those kind of sacrifices, right? So it's like we got to understand. I understand. Have understood for some time now the space in which I and we play in regards to advancing our community. I am shocked that most of our pushback we receive has been from our own people. I'm very, very, very shocked of that. I'm like so close to start calling out names. I'm like so close. Cause I heard about a new person.
Call him.
Heard about a new person. I'm so close. A new guy in Atlanta. Actually, you know what? Here's a funny story, King. The realtor that closed on this property, black realtor, 2 black realtors made a big ass check off this deal. Yep. Fed their families like yearly salary type money off this deal, right? Our folks are eating off of this. Black architecture firm, black project management firm. Our people are eating off of this, right? Our realtor that closed this deal said he was at a real estate mastermind here in Atlanta, and someone said, oh man, it was like a panel, and someone said, oh, I like what Jay-Morrison-Tulsa-Real-Estate-Fund are doing. And he said this guy, I'm not going to say his name, a quote-unquote real estate guy who's big on Instagram here in Atlanta, some guru, spazzes out on the panel and was like, that's a scam, that's some BS, da-da-da. And he was like, yo, bro, chill. Like, and he said he called the guy after, was like, yo, that's not cool. Like, if you got a problem, you should take that up privately. But this is somebody I never met. I seen his page before one time on Instagram. He be in his little suits and got his little mansions behind him and all of that. And he just, it's crazy. The level of it, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't even disrespect females and call it a female trait. It's like bad, man. It's like, it's some old other stuff. But anyway, the energy behind it is we on a mission. We have things we have to do. I have things I want to prove. I have a calling and a purpose. And my woman inspires me. Our team inspires me. Y'all inspire me. Like the community, the work got to get done. Long story short, the work got to get done. I'm tired of talking about it. I like solutions. And I want to earn my way into the history books. And so a little bit of jealousy, envy, and hate ain't going to stop me. So we're going to keep working and keep proving everybody wrong. And success is everything. So it's like we just got work to do. That's it. Like, it's cool. Like, you know.
Well, we appreciate it, man. I'm glad you got on YouTube and showed everybody why you was different, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, King. Appreciate you so much. And we look for our PR team will be reaching out. They want to do get some stuff from you and try to get a story on you.
They reached out to me. I asked if she needed anything else. I gave her whatever she needed, man. You know, it's small, but that's a big deal to me. So I'm going to keep saying it every time I call in.
All right, love, King. Appreciate you.
1 minute to 9.
Yes, sir.
All righty. We're going to take like 3 questions and we out. Round robin real quick. We'll take a couple live streams and a call. Anybody got anything? Anybody got anything?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, Jay. Happy to hear from you, and I'm glad I'm part of this. And my question to you is, I know my name is Helen, by the way. I'm in Atlanta here. I know you've been talking about the acquisition so far. I just want to find out how many assets has been acquired, and if you could put this out there in the website, because a lot of times when we're on the line, you just run through them, and I really can get what exactly was acquired so far. And I really want to appreciate all you're doing to the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Queen. We will, and I'll make it a team mandate to get this deal up, our office building. We'll get this up online by the end of next week. So we'll make sure that happens. This is our first and only acquisition right now. There's several deals in underwriting, but we don't want to necessarily announce all those deals until we've actually got a commitment on them. So once we get commitments and are engaged with these particular sponsors, then we'll definitely update the site as well and notify you guys here. But we will do a better job of making sure. And I actually had a meeting about it earlier. I told our President Kier that we need to get the online community, the back-end portal, make sure you guys got updated videos, updated content on the project, etc. So I'll make sure that I kick butt and that the team, responds to us making sure you guys got, everything as promptly as possible. And thank you, Queen, for the warm words as well.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
What I like about it is that I see on the line that you're pulling a lot of other minority investors and is letting us know that it's growing, you know what I'm saying, and that you stay close to the people that have invested by having these talks. So I like that a lot.
Thanks so much, Quinn. I appreciate that.
What I wanted to ask about, if you were talking about the situation that happened with Marcus Garvey, the underhandedness that was done, with your 12,000 investors, are most of the ownership owned by the minority, the shares owned by minority?
I don't have hard data on that, but from all of the interactions that I've seen, whether it be in person, through social, these calls, etc., it seems to be a overwhelming majority of what we would call, I guess, minority or people of color or African descent.
Okay, good. I was just wondering that because that was, a lot of people don't know that was a part of also what was the underhandedness too on certain things at the Tulsa Real Estate. Back in the day, they bought and the shares became 56% owned by non-minorities, and that's how it started to break down.
Gotcha. So for us, the great part is that the management company, which is 100% African-owned, the management company of the fund remains the manager of the fund, no matter how many shares are bought by anyone, institutional, ethnic or non-ethnic or however. And so we remain in control and in management regardless of how our shares are bought. And so we're open to managing the capital of anyone. So yeah, we learn from history and have positioned ourselves in a way where we can stay in control and that our vision is protected.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. All right, and last one.
Excited for our future and history being made. So grateful for your vision and the team.
October 23rd, 2018, Tulsa Real Estate Fund Day. You just say that. When they start talking, you just say that. Say, I see you on next TREF Day. Thank you all for all your just support, investments, encouragement, questions, concerns. Again, we're just 4.5 months old. Years ago, in 2013, November of 2013, after going on a Breakfast Club, after going on a Today Show, after being a celebrity realtor on NBC's Open House NYC, after being the first black man hired by Prominent Properties Sotheby's International Realty in Bergen County, New Jersey, Sotheby's being one of the world's largest luxury real estate companies, after bringing in our biggest listing into our Fort Lee office of 1 or 7 million, after all those accomplishments, many people asked me to mentor them. And I couldn't mentor everybody, of course. And so I thought of a curriculum and school concept, which now is the Jay-Morrison Academy. I thought of this concept in November of 2013. I quickly put together an operational team around this concept, a technology team, and we soft launched the beginning of our first Jay-Morrison Academy course, our residential real estate course. The first version has now been made over 4 or 5 times. And we launched that course January 8th of 2014. So in just less than 90 days, I thought of an idea, incorporated the idea and the business, put a model behind it, a team behind it, and then launched it. Since then, we've had over 10,000 students enrolled in the Jay-Morrison Academy. Since 2014, we built the academy up to one of Inc. 500's fastest growing companies, number 588 fastest growing companies in America in the last 4 years. Saying that to say, we're only 4.5 months into this Tulsa concept from our IPO. This has been an idea in my head for several years, but now we've played it out, and now we're in a space where we're in it in 4.5 months. So I don't look at where we're at now. God bless you, honey. I don't look at where we're at now. I'm not even thinking about next year. I'm thinking about what's TREF in 2022 and 2025. Like, I'm long ball playing. So we get this right now, we continue to scale and grow, and we're leading the pack. It's like, what literally can this be for us? I'm not talking about right now short money, short plays. I seen what JMA was in its first few months. It was a nightmare. But I saw how we grew the business. We learned from it. We figured out the systems. And now we have a business that pretty much employs or contributes to over 40 families a month in regards to fees, stipends, pay, salaries, etc. And has educated tens of thousands of people, creating multiple millionaires through our academy and our training. So I'm just saying this to say I'm very optimistic about what we can do with the Tulsa Fund, the first ever fund. Out of all the business moguls, out of all the big names you can mention, I'm not taking them from nobody because they got things they can say that I never did and probably couldn't do. But when it comes to this right here, out of all the moguls you can name, out of all the rappers you can name, out of all the ball players you can name, out of all the big homies, out of all the OGs, we were the first to do this in regards to create an economic vehicle, a real estate crowd fund that is owned by us and for us. The first to ever do it. And so we're going to take that to the history books. We're going to take it to the bank along with our TREF Day. You know what I'm saying? So, again, for all my CEOs out there, executives, entrepreneurs, business owners, and those aspiring to be successful in those spaces, or those who are doing 6 or 7 figures but like really want and haven't had a CEO, an executive coach, or a trainer or training, check me out Monday night, October 29th, 7 p.m. We're going to be doing this executive mastermind, live Q&A, private webinar, covering some of the highest level strategies on how to be the best executive you could be and how to master the craft of being a CEO and a business owner. I'm going to show you some of the literal tactics, strategies, and resources I use to accelerate my business, to have owned or managed over 36 businesses in the last 13 years, and create over 3 multi-million-dollar companies. And so jay-morrison-live.com for you guys to register for that opportunity to learn from me in a private, intimate webinar, interactive session. That's jay-morrison-live.com. I'll see you guys there. Everyone else, treflife.com for the merch coming out October 30th, my birthday. TREF Life sign, just like the logo and the emoji. All right, get your shirts, get your logos. I wanted to give a portion of the profits of the shirts to the Jay-Morrison Academy Foundation, which hosts our corner class. We do all these free corner classes, teaching in the community. But then everyone would have thought that we were probably doing something, so we just said, forget it. We're not even going to donate profits to our nonprofit because then it'll be something about that. So we're getting punked by the bullies. But you guys can support the movement and have some really cool shirts. They're good quality, fit good. You know, I don't even have muscles, but it makes it look like I have muscles a little bit. So, you know, get your TREF Life merch. Of course, invest, submit your deals, tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. I'll see some of you on the webinar, jay-morrison-live.com for all my executive CEOs and developers. Let's talk that big boy and big girl talk. I'll talk to you guys then. Again, TREF life, full life. We do this for life. First in our lifetimes to do it. You all are special. You all who have invested are now commercial real estate owners and partners of ours. Love y'all. We riding. Let's keep making our ancestors proud. Peace.